I think we often forget about the small town. But these places have incredible people and stories and histories as well. I wanted to document these places, help them tell their stories. To do this, I traveled to a nearby town of 1,000 people in central Alaska known as Salcha. Enjoy these interviews, these memories, these stories from Salcha.
My name is Brian Shunskis, and I'm a carpenter by trade. Is what I used to work in construction and stuff. But right now I own some rental units out here in Salcha. I'm kind of semi-retired, just working the garden and keeping my rentals going. And but I've lived here about 43 years, since high school, since early high school days. So. Well, I originally came here with my parents, but they didn't stay, but I decided to stay. I was the only one in my family that stayed up here. But I liked it, and extreme climate, and the seasons were fun for me. So this is really my home. So, it's not a whole lot different, to be honest. Salcha hasn't grown that much. It's grown some, but yeah, it's a big area, and I'm sure I don't know everybody. I mean, you're kind of everybody kind of has their own thing going. So, we still just have the one store, and kids out here go to school at Eielson still, and the Salcha school is still the same school that's been here for a long time, since the 70s. So, people come and go, but other than that, it's hasn't changed too much. Hasn't grown like North Pole. North Pole is in the same period as probably tripled or more in size, So, I think people are very independent out here. That's just the way Alaska is anyway. But so we're just far enough away from town, but close enough to where you can still get what you need to easily. And yeah, people are very independent out here, I think, compared to a lot of areas. But typical rural Alaska, just like any other town along the road system, kind of. But it's nice being out in nature, and everything, and that's the nice thing too about being out here. I can go out on the river, and I got the whole place to myself, pretty much. So that's nice.
So, how did you get into farming and gardening?
It's just been a hobby. Always been interested. I've always planted a garden since I was a kid, but. The challenge of the harsh environment, you can't, people tell you can't grow this, can't grow that, but it's a challenge, and it makes it more satisfying to be able to do it. Well, this garden started out real small, just right here, and every year I kept clearing a little further and made it bigger and bigger and bigger. So the farthest reach of this garden has only been cleared for about 4 or 5 years. It's kind of unique. The soil's real good here. It's kind of like a little oasis in the valley. There's a lot of gravel in areas around, but here the soil's thick, and the river has just deposited soil over the years without washing it away. And then I've been building it up with salmon carcasses and fertilizer, and I've been able to grow a lot of stuff over the years. Carrots and sugar snap peas, broccoli, my main crops. I grow a lot of, there's been years when I've grown 3,000 or 4,000 pounds of carrots, but I'm not growing that many now. I'm growing a little less, but I'm going to get into the cabbage thing more and more, so I might cut back on some of the other stuff. I've been growing big cabbages for years, the OS Cross, which was known as an easy-to-grow large cabbage for Alaska. And then I started going down to Palmer to the cabbage contest in 2011, and I was placing. First I placed 4th and then 3rd and worked my way up to 2nd. And so far I've gotten up to 94 pounds at the contest. But I've had bigger ones that haven't made it. So I'm working on it. And the world record is 138 pounds, so I got a little ways to go. But I'm making good progress. So. But anyway, the last 5 years I've been crossing my own cabbages, different varieties, and then keeping my cabbages, my best ones, and getting more seed. And so I'm trying to create a bigger, better cabbage that'll grow here bigger. We're kind of in a strategic location. The latitude and the climate we have might be the best there is in the world for growing cabbages. So I'm going to try to take advantage of that and see if I can break a world record someday. So that's my goal. I'm the only one that's growing big ones up here north of the Alaska Range, but the verdict's kind of out whether it's better growing them here or down in the Mananuska Valley. I think it's better here, but proof will be down the road. We'll see what happens. Proof is in the cabbage, in the pudding. The garden's kind of winding down, so we've had a couple good frosts, and there's some fava beans, some sweet onions, and my sweet corn got frosted, but I've been eating a few ears. The lower part of it still didn't get frosted, so some of the ears will still mature. But here's my giant cabbage. I had my biggest one blew up on me on the 8th of August. Those are going to be seed. The one that was over here was 6 feet wide. This one's about 4.5. So, and that one had about a 23-inch head. This one's probably about 18 to 20 inch. But when I cut the head off after it split open, it weighed 54 pounds, just the head. So it was on its way to being a big cabbage. But cabbage growing is a lot of heartbreaks. It's not for the faint of heart. But this is the one I'm going to take to the Palmer Fair. 7 more days. I had to keep the rain off of it and keep a fan on it so it won't rot. These are some of my other cabbages, but that just didn't measure up. But peas are done, everything. I'm just starting to rip stuff out, till it in. It's been a good summer, not the best, but not the worst.